That beautiful product on your screen is what we want to talk about today. And yes, it's honey. There are a lot of brands of honey on the market today. You meet Zaragoza honey, Hiroyuki Tagawa honey, Jean-Claude Van Damme honey. You find Chuck Norris honey, the late, may his soul rest in eternal peace. Now today we want to brainstorm and see how can we tell that the honey I'm consuming is good or it's not worth consuming. Yeah. Now, what is honey in the first place? A lot more people consume honey so long as anything is sweet and so long as you've been convinced that this product is from the bees, for you're just there to consume anything. Gwe kasitaba kugamba nti guno nagujja mubisi munjuki guli mwetegefu, you're always ready, you're always eager to consume whatever sweet stuff you're convinced. Today katwogere ku features eziyinza okulaga which is the best honey. How can you tell that my honey I'm eating is good one? Honey is a viscous product that is manufactured by the bees, and it highly crystallizes, especially if it is in its pure, natural, or even in an untampered form. Crystallization, I mean the tendency of honey crystallizing, becoming like sugar or even salt. Those crystals it forms, that process is called honey crystallization. And in most cases it leaves many bee farmers in fear, thinking that the honey they are consuming has been tampered with by the provider or by the beekeeper, something that is not true. In fact, if your honey crystallizes, it is a pure sign that it is one of the signs that your honey is a high product, a high quality product. See, if honey is really genuine or even pure, if you mix it with water, for example, you get a spoonful of honey into a glass of water, real honey will settle to the bottom and won't dissolve immediately. But if it is fake honey, it will quickly dissolve in the water. What do you pick from this? That honey that is pure will not dissolve in water. It will remain intact. It will remain as you pressed it. That if it is fake honey, omubisi oguli fake bwogutabula mu mazzi ugenda kwetabula mangu. Ojja kulowooza nti totadde mubisi. You might be forced to think that you didn't put any honey in the water. So for honey consumers and honey lovers, yes, I mean the normal water. Are you afraid? Have you been consuming fake honey? No, it is always not late. Better late than never. The white herb that saying. We can also look at the pepper test. You see, when you place honey on a paper, from these normal books, if you get a piece of paper, pluck it out from a book, then you place water. I mean, you place honey on that paper. It will wet the paper if it is fake. But if it's not fake, it will remain floating on that piece of paper or even the whole day without anything wetting that paper. What wets this paper is the water that has been added in the honey. I do not mean to say that even if it is pure honey, the paper will not wet at all. No, because we know that honey has some component of water in it. If you use a refractometer, you measure the content of water in a certain sample of honey, you notice that it will fall within the range of 15, 17, 18. That is the amount of water in that sample of honey. So that small content of water over time might wet the paper. But if it does so rapidly, I mean, you put the honey on paper and within a few seconds the paper is wet already, suspect that you fell on omufere yakuguziza omubisi ogutali mutuufu. So bulijjo weegendereze omubisi gw'ogenda okubanga okozesa. Okyayinza okubanga okozesa omubisi omufu naye nga gwe muli olowooza okozesa omubisi omulungi. So ekyo nakyo it must be looked at keenly. There is this common test where people use a matchstick to test for the quality of honey, and it is also a good test, by the way. You get a matchstick, dip it in honey, and then try lighting it. If it lights, it's pure honey, because we know honey is flammable. Honey can easily catch fire. Actually, I normally emphasize farmers that come to Mr. B's offices in Kowe that try to keep honey in a safe place far away from fire, because honey can catch fire. And then some people use this thumb. If they put honey here and face it downwards, the honey can remain there. The honey is thick, so it cannot drop off quickly. So that is one of the signs that your honey is pure. If it can remain on this thumb for a few minutes or even seconds without dropping off, like the case of water, that is pure honey. There is no relationship between quality and color, simply because the color of honey depends on the nectar source. It depends where the bees visited. If they visited jackfruit, bananas, expect the honey to be light, because the nectar from those particular plants is light. But if they visit coffee, they visit bitter leaf, expect your honey to be dark, because the nectar from coffee, from the bitter leaf, is dark. So it is a tit for tat. What they collect from the plant is what they put in the beehive.